A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. In this particular session, I'm going to be talking about, as you can see the title, why the DM, the Divine Masculine, or you can say the distorted masculine who has the potential of being Divine Masculine. Why do all of them, and so many of them, based on whatever people have shared, why do they choose lust over love? And it's not like a lot of them are not intimate in their relationships where they are in love with someone. Why still they continuously choose lust every time they're trying to escape, or even some of them shockingly choose lust, or sometimes the divine feminines feel the feminine, I would say the females, they feel that when they were in a relationship with their so-called supposed twin flame, or anyone who has put them through this type of an experience where they need healing, they are healing right now, they feel that they were also giving them everything intimately. In the intimate relationship, they were providing them, the masculine, the men, everything. Okay? But still they chose lust over love. And again, it is not gender specific, so I will obviously address all those men also who feel the same way, that their partners, girlfriends, wives, whosoever, why did they choose lust over them? Were they not adequate enough? Were they not enough? Or were they not doing everything that they could in their power? Why still they were not the one who got chosen? And it hurts even more because they could see easily that the person they chose is providing them some kind of benefit, some kind of easy life. Materialistically, they are providing them something, and they could see, or they can see, that maybe in their sexual experience also, intimate experience also, they chose that person because maybe they compared them, their lovers, and they felt that the other person is better, looks wise or body wise or appearance wise. When you're with a person for such a long time, sometimes you, if not the long time also, even if you're there with them for a certain period of, a stipulated period of time, whatever it is, we don't know what is long and short in everybody's life and perception. Somebody could think that 6 months relationship or a 9 months relationship is very long, a 2-year relationship is very long, and some might think that 10-year relationship is not that long. So no comparisons, and the vice versa as well. So the pain becomes double when you feel that you were not chosen, and the one who got chosen was bringing in a package of lust. You could probably, knowing the person you were with, your person, you could see that maybe they always fancied a certain type of body part, a certain type of looks, certain type of height or weight, hair color, skin color, some amount of quirks, some amount of show off. Materialistic things are obviously on higher, level. If you have to put them level wise, you'll see that love and spirituality and reality and practicality, sometimes people feel that maybe they are far more practical, like they're too practical. It's like they don't have any emotions at all in them. Like no emotions, only practicality. The answer to this question is being shared in the channeling. First of all, this planet itself is full of lust. You see lust everywhere. It's in the television, it's in the films, it's in the books, it's in the social media, it's in everything. It's in the way we live our lives, our lifestyles. They are based on the model of lust. Because we are all not content, we all want more. And while people disconnect with themselves, when they disconnect with themselves, like a mother, or even a father for that matter, like they have a family, okay, the mother, father, 2, 3 children, and they want to send the child to a fancy school. A fancy school, an expensive school, a high-end school. And the school charges a lot of fees every month. Okay. Every month the school is charging a certain amount of fees. And the parents have to pay it. Now, it's very important to understand, first of all, what is the education offering to the children. If the education is equal to the investment that is being put month on month, year on year, for another 12 years, 14 years, 16 years, if it is worth, is it creating them into good human beings? Is it giving them some kind of freedom? No. Actually, it is like a school or any school, colleges. We always go by the schools and colleges like they're a brand. So if I go to that school or that college, that's the brand. That's the brand value basically. Okay. I'll come to lust part now. Lust is very much connected to all of these things, and I'll tell you how. So they work very hard and they love their children. We all think that, our parents didn't do this for us or that for us. And instead of blaming the parents, it's always better to understand what type of societal flaws do they have. Why did they turn so narcissistic? Why did they lack empathy? Why would they not hug me or kiss me or sit with me or spend time with me or listen to my stories? Why were they always so angry and agitated and upset, and they were going through some hypertension or blood pressure or diabetes or this or that? But why? If they're working so hard for me, why do we even say that these are narcissistic parents? Because they are very much concerned about the image. Not only their own image, please understand, also for the child. Also for the child, a mother and a father, any couple like that, in the so-called modern world, they think that my child should go to the best school and the best college, so that when they grow up, they're going to get the best jobs, the best offers, the best life, a big house. Even the things that we could not buy, they're going to buy it, they're going to get it. But they don't think practically, and that is the crazy part, that why aren't they thinking practically at that point in time? So in order to fulfill that desire, that lust which is in that desire, to fulfill that desire, they know that they have to work very hard, or they are told that you have to work hard, or you have to do something, through which you're going to be very rich and very wealthy, and you would be able to afford everything. Say some of them know that they can't do that. Some of them know that, the best way to pay all the fees for my children, to send them to the top colleges, and it's not even limited to colleges. Then we have masters, we have MBAs, we have other degrees also, where you keep getting the education. And when I say education, again, it's based on a paper that's given to you after every year that you clear. Okay, you go to college, you clear college, you get given a paper. You do your MBA, you're given a paper. And then you circulate that paper around everywhere and say, okay, this is what I got. And this is how I can prove that I am educated enough to be able to apply to a certain job or a certain role or a certain position. And believe you me, and you all know this, so I don't have to convince anyone for this. It's not like there is one person who's giving an interview for one job. For a job, for a fancy, high quality job, and when I say high quality, I mean monetarily, there would be somewhere around 20 people, 30 people, 100 people, 500 people, giving interviews and going through the whole selection process. So it's not that easy any which way, right from the investment part, which starts at a very young age. And the parents, the mother, especially the father is supposed to be the provider. So if he's gone throughout the day and the mother is taking care of the offsprings, it's okay. But we live in a culture, we live in a time where the mother also has to go out to work. And it's not like I'm saying it's wrong or right, okay? Please understand what's happening to the child over here. It's perfectly fine to be a single mother, especially if you have grandparents who can look after the children, or you have someone very trustworthy, someone who's going to look after the children like their own children, someone who's going to pamper them, someone who's going to just spend like all the time in the most loving way and yet giving them freedom. But it's not possible. We cannot expect the babysitters, or we cannot expect the nannies, or we cannot expect the tutors to treat the children with love, because again, their motivation is also money. All of them. Okay. So literally everybody is motivated to earn a lot of money, or at least that much money that can help them sustain their lives. And yet everybody is just hand to mouth. And everybody is literally in the survival mode. Everybody is literally in the survival mode. Nobody is happy with what they have. And that's the sad part. So to fulfill all of these commitments, the parents, they go away. They have to work every day, every single day. They have to create a system for the child. And you know what? The reason why I really respect the Indian Gurukul system, the one that is like many years back, I'm not talking about anything which is in recent times. Maybe there are some authentic ones that are continuing and maintaining the culture, but I'm just talking about what's happening, on a level that everyone can understand. So back in those days, they never used to send the children to the school that early, first of all. There is an age till which the child is going to be with the family, okay, with the mother and the father. And in those years, they are not going to be stuck in competitive examinations, because I think personally, as a child also, I went through this. I don't know how many of you also went through this. Children, poor little children, they're just 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10. These little children have to give exams. Like in my time, we had to give exams every Monday. Every Monday was a test. Every Monday was a test. You actually begin to hate Mondays right from that age. Because every Monday morning, first thing after the prayers, you go to your classroom and you give a fucking exam. It used to really torture me sometimes, like why do I even have to do this? Like why do I have to go through this? I used to question it every Monday I used to question it. And this Monday terror doesn't end over here. It goes on and on and on, when you realize that Saturday, Sunday is a weekend for you, and then Monday will come, and then again you have to get back to the work mode, the same 9 to 5 and the same rigmaroles and the same test and tribulations. You have to just keep proving yourself. So the child has to learn to prove itself to other people at that young age. And at that young age, actually the child should be spending a lot of time with, adults who love them, grandparents, going to fields, going to nature walks, going for trips. And if they feel like studying at home, like reading something, they can do that, In fact, in today's world, little children know how to operate the phone. They can type certain things on their own. Even before they learn how to write, they have started learning how to type on the phone, on the tablets. It's insane. And that's why a lot of people actually started liking this whole online mode of education. I'm not going to say it's good or bad right now, because I have to come back to this whole lust topic. Why the masculine chooses lust over love? Why is he so weak? Why is he so stupid, so dumb, so blind, so ignorant that he chooses something that is so fickle? And lust does not have long life. Lust has a short span of life, like lust pretty much gets over after some time, and then it needs to be replaced with something else. If it's a loop for someone, then you need to replace it. So maybe was the masculine also with the feminine for the same reason, lust, while the feminine kept thinking that it is love. So again, it's not gender specific. All the men who have gone through this, and all the women who have gone through this, and all the people in same-sex relationships, all of you can think about this. Like, were you also just lust for someone, or were you also love? But how did this, fascination or addiction of lust, how does it all begin? It begins because at the age when the children are supposed to be in intimate proximities with their parents, and when I use the word intimate, I don't use it sexually in this context, okay? When I'm talking about, okay, two people getting into some kind of an intercourse situation or making out or blah blah blah, okay, that is physical intimacy. But this is where we go wrong. Intimacy is not always physical. So intimacy is always also like, talking to your parents, talking to your grandparents, taking care of animals, taking care of pets, being close to the ground, doing something. Like if you play with mud, like when we were children, I think the kids who were born in the 80s, 90s, and even 2000, I would say, these 3 decades till that time, we still used to go out to play in the sun, we used to play in the parks, we used to play in the mud, we used to do all sorts of things. But when I look at the kids today, it's very dangerous because they don't go out. Like you don't see that many children outside. I do see children cycling in the morning, but I've realized that they're cycling because they have to go to school, and it's easier and faster to take the cycle to go to school. But when we used to do cycling, we used to do it purely because we used to love it, we used to enjoy it. And there was a time that when I remember so many of us kids, everyone had a cycle, a bicycle, and we had to just, go out on it every day, literally couple of hours cycling, playing. And parents used to like keep screaming our names from their houses, from the balconies, and we would like go back. Okay, now they're calling us, we need to go back, we need to stop playing. But I don't see that. I'm sure when I say we, I mean a lot of us. When I say I also, it's the same thing, I guess. All of us, we don't see children doing those things, and it's like they're so disconnected with nature, so disconnected. Like even if they go for a vacation and they see a river or they see a water body or the mountain, it's literally like for them, oh, this is how we spend the vacation, because we look at the mountains. They don't have that emotional joy, like, what, we are in this place and let's lie down on the grass. We used to lie on the grass every day. We used to play so many games with the sitting on the grass and running around, jumping around, all of that. So somehow, that time, that culture was good. Sometimes I feel that it was at least like more conducive than what it has become now. Now it is becoming conducive because people are awakening, so they are going to somehow overthrow all of these things, or they are going to come up with a plan where you create a sustainable lifestyle, which is a healthy combination of technology and nature at the same time. So the children, human beings, we are all designed in such a way that when we are young, when we are little young children, babies, till adolescence, we need to be with our mothers and fathers. We need to hold them, we need to hug them, because that's the purest form of love. Even if it is intimate love, it is purest form of love. The hugs and the kisses and the cuddling and the sleeping next to them, or jumping around with them, holding hands with them, these are with the parents, if you get that from the parents. But a lot of us don't get it. And then again, I can say the 80s, 90s and the 2000s, these are also like the time, even before that, I would not exclude people who are born in 60s and 70s. I mean, all this, like the last, you can say from 1950 to 2000, this is the time, I think, there was maximum confusion, which is leading to the awakening process. So parents were confused, like, should we give our child this type of education? Should we send them to this school or this college? Like, nobody would actually go and investigate that what is literally being given to my child in this school or college. First of all, the child is snatched away from the parents at a literally small, tender age of 3. At a tender age of 3, you have to wake up in the morning, and it's not to go to the park, it's not to go for a walk, it's not to go and lie down on the ground and do some exercise or play with your friends. You're literally getting ready. Not even at 7, like 6 o'clock in the morning, you have to wake up, get ready, get dressed, and go to school. And there you start getting trained to become disciplined and follow certain type of protocols. Like you have to get up when your teacher enters, you have to sit down, you have to, sit in a certain manner. These are little children, okay? These are children. And putting them in a very robotic lifestyle, it takes away that intimacy from them. And the people who don't get that type of intimacy, they start becoming more and more lustful in their lives. Okay? So whether you're a man or whether you're a woman, and if especially you're a sensitive child, for sensitive children, even acknowledgement is very important. Like they just want to talk about things because they are very independent. Sensitive children or empaths, they need more acknowledgement because spiritually they are so aware and spiritually they are so strong that many a times they themselves don't like to be physically intimate with many people as children. But all they need is acknowledgement and acceptance, but they don't get that also. So which in turn makes them bitter, and they also start looking for love. And because we are programmed in such a way that we feel that love equals to lust. That's what we are taught. And sometimes it becomes an addiction. Okay? So many masculines and many feminines, they are like into those narcissistic energies where they're very selfish. So maybe their parents love them a lot, but the parents and the schooling system and the societal functioning, the way the flaws are functioning, it taught them to become very selfish. And if they would, meet someone and they would see, okay, this person is attractive and this person is nice, they would end up, either in a fling or in some kind of a relationship. And once they get bored of it, they'll move on from it. They'll look for someone else and someone else and someone else. Till the point they reach a place in their life when they, again, due to the programming, they feel like, now I should settle down. But should settle down with who? Someone who's going to serve me. Someone who's going to solve the purposes of my life, which I cannot solve. And that's when maybe because of this type of energy or this type of demand, because people who are in the spiritual ascension, whose Kundalini has awakened, they are also looking for love. They are also looking for someone. They are also looking for someone. So there is a match, Both are looking for someone, but one is looking for true love and one is looking for convenience, the best possible convenience. And then that has to be a combination of everything, sexuality, materialism, money, image, so many things clubbed together. So they feel that, the feminine or, and again, this is not gender specific. Every time I say feminine, think about it, I mean to say somebody whose Kundalini has activated, because once your feminine energy gets activated, that's, the time when it will lead to eventual merge with the masculine, because the masculine energy, the polarized masculine happens first, followed by polarized feminine. But it is in the feminine state, when your Kundalini can awaken and rise up. Because Kundalini is again feminine energy and it is the dark mother. Darkness is not always bad, It's not like nighttime is always bad or lunar energies are always bad. But then darkness is the thing that purges us to eventually understand the balance between the light and the dark. Like the dark and light together combined creates a singular energy. Okay. So hypersexuality is basically an obsession with sexual thoughts, urges or behaviors that may cause distress or negatively affect health, job or relationships. But if a child in young age you get hypersexual, you don't even know why you are looking for relationships which are more sexual in nature, because you at that point in time basically are looking for pure intimacy. You just want to hold someone's hand, you just want to hug someone, you just want to caress someone, and somehow you end up doing much more than that. But you think also in your head that maybe this is good for me because I'm also getting like a package deal. So this person is getting intimate with me physically, sexually, but at the same time, I'm getting to hold someone's hand. I can put my head on their shoulder, or we can pretend to be happy. We can pretend to be in a relationship or whatever. But actually, it's just convenience, It's like you scratch my back and I scratch yours. So the feminine also needs to understand the different difference between lust and love, and that you cannot understand if you have not gone through that pain. When someone treats you, badly, someone treats you like just a sex object, just a piece of meat, or they treat you like a convenience. So as long as they were happy playing with you like a toy, like how children play with toys, they were playing with you. But when they get bored, a better toy is given to them, they'll probably move on, and start playing with that toy. I know it sounds cruel to be in that position. Like for the child, the toy is an inanimate thing. For the child, the toy is just an object. Maybe the child would not even care about the object if it gets alive, like a pet dog or a pet cat, or maybe something even better or bigger than that. I don't even understand the point why parents give so many toys to children when they should actually teach children other things, like grow your food, play with your animal companions, go out in the sun, paint, sing, dance. You don't need all these artificial toys. So we are actually programmed to play with inanimate artificial objects since a very young age. Because why? How did this even start? It's like the mother is very busy, she has to cook food, and the baby is crying, so she wants to hand on, like the little child with something that makes a funny noise or a funny sound. That's how the first toy probably came in place, because she was so busy, she could not attend to the crying baby. She thought that, let me keep my baby busy, let me give him something to play with, and that's about it. But we don't understand that all these things have a very adverse effect on our children, or anybody, for that matter. Because what the child needs at that point in time is attention, acknowledgement, affection, a hug, a kiss, to know if it's hungry or not, if it's maybe wet or not. But everybody is so busy in their lives trying to earn money, trying to fulfill the, survival needs, that they don't do that. They give the child something to play with. It's an addiction. Okay, it will make you happy. Play with this, it will make you happy. So the masculine is literally trying to make himself happy. The masculine energy, the collective masculine energy is what I'm referring to here. It could be in a man, it could be in a woman, it could be in a transgender person, anyone. This type of need for intimacy, sexual intimacy, always comes from your childhood wounds where you were not given enough. So people think that the narcissist is so privileged, the narcissist so pampered, the parents are loving the narcissist all the time. That's not true, not completely true, because the narcissist is also given objects, or is given something. When they cry or they, make a scene or something, the parents are like, what do you want? The child is like crying, I want this, I want that. Okay, here you go. Take all of this and be happy, be quiet. But we'll give you whatever you want. The empath or the super empath, on the other hand, the neglected child, it's better to call them neglected child or over pampered child, because somewhere they all are empathetic. It's just that the empathy is literally, it's like stubbed in, compressed, like don't talk about it, don't discuss this, don't do this, don't do that. Materialistically, yes, do good. So if the child is like saying to the parents something which is related to their emotional state, they may not listen. But if they talk about numbers and grades and marks, and this is what my teacher said at school, they'll be all into it. Like, what about it? We want to know more. The parents, I have seen it from my own two eyes, that parents beat their children up badly, slaps upon slaps, and it happens literally in every household. It's not like something new, just because they want the child to get the grades and get the marks. But if the child wants to do something compassionate in nature, something kind, they won't do any of this. Like, if say the child picks up lying or cheating or a bad habit like bullying, that's the time the child should get an ass whooping. But they won't do it at that point in time because it's nothing to do with the grades or the numbers or the marks, even the masks for that matter. So even the parents are, and then this is the reason why I don't talk so much about the parents doing this or that, because then some people get very bitter and they go into a lot of pain. But you need to become more practical and understand that they probably went through the same thing, and they were grilled and they were told that if you're not going to do good in life, especially in school and college, you'll be a poor person, you'll not have anything. And when they grow up, they don't understand that this whole poverty, this whole wealth and all, it is all made up, it is all illusion as well. If you don't send your children to fancy schools and colleges, you will automatically have enough money to do a lot of things. You'll be more content, you'll be coming back home happy, you'll be like chilling with the kids more. But because you cannot fulfill so many needs, you're also angry and upset and in tension, and the boss says something to you and you go all crazy on your children and your wife, or vice versa. So many things. The mothers also feel like, what, I need to buy this and I need to buy that, and my husband's salary cannot fulfill those needs. Because like even he's trying. Some of the women actually do understand that he's trying. I don't want him to become a smuggler or a crazy guy. He's okay. He goes to the office and every month he brings like this much money. So now I also need to, somehow bring more money so that both of us can give a better life to our children. And what do we mean by the better life? Better life means less intimacy, less actual intimacy. The child automatically becomes open for molesters, for pedophiles, for leeches, because now the child is not that protected. Even the children, they don't feel that protected, Sometimes they get like abused by people, but they can't tell their parents because the abusers are in a very authoritative state. The abuser is sitting on some chair, maybe a teacher, maybe a tutor. And I'm not talking about only sexual abuse, I'm talking about all types of abuse. There is bullying, there's beating the children up, there's manipulation, there's a ton of things that the children have to go through. And instead of giving them the correct education, the right education, this is all that is given to them, which makes them hypersexual. Because they just want to get some love and they don't know how to get it. So they go to one person and another person and another person. Have you ever spoken to people who have a lot of one-night stands? You should look at them. They look very happy in the daytime, but as soon as it's evening time, as soon as it's night time, they have to go to the bar to pick up someone, because you know what? They have to sleep, and they can't go off to sleep without getting some intimacy. They are still children who are looking for some love and intimacy, but this is how they derive it. So a lot of masculines, a lot of people in masculine energies do the same thing. And then there is this whole fear and trauma, or maybe, they are so codependent, they can't make their own money. They've always been dependent on parents. I'm talking about the over-pampered narcs plus empaths, and I'm talking about the neglected narcs and empaths. These people, these two different types of people, two different sexes and genders and whatever, all the differences, they are both wounded actually, and they are both scared and they are both fearful. But one of them is like, what, I'm gonna look for some better option because I can't do this. This is too difficult. And the other one decides to chase and convince and stay because they don't know what else to do. They were so neglected in childhood and they were always pleasing people. They think that maybe this is the best way. Put my self-respect in jeopardy and keep begging like a beggar on the street for love, for attention, for affection. Because they've always done that in some way or the other. They've always begged for it. And the other one who's over-pampered is like, I'm going to take it from wherever it comes. I don't care how it comes. It's a toy or it's a human being. Who cares? As long as it fulfills my need, it's okay. So they choose lust over love. And somehow, even the feminines are choosing lust over love because the masculine hasn't given them anything more than lust. If they were really giving you affection, they would not have done this. So somehow, both are mirroring those pains, the wounds, but the mistakes too. For your personal situation, you can write to me at thesunamoon@gmail.com. You can book a therapy with me and get into intensive work, and you can get a personal session as well. If you face any problem trying to book a session, please go through the description box and write to me, and I'll tell you how to go about it. Keep doing inner work. Inner work and ascension is a lifestyle for a lot of us. We may not understand many things, but at least we should go for things that make us peaceful, more content, and we get a purpose, like a meaning. I mean, any which way, it's all gonna end. We're all gonna die. But you don't want to come back to the same rat race, to the same rut. At least ask some questions. It's okay, you don't get the answers immediately, but try to look for some practical answers without, falling into wrong people and wrong places. So thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out, and I'll see you soon in another one.